Thanks for tuning in and watching my videos on Guillermo's Goods. Today I'll be cleaning my aquarium that my axolotls are in. I currently have two in a 30-gallon tank. On the left side I have a golden one and a white albino on the right. I first got the white albino and then later on I got the golden one a couple weeks later. But today I'm going to show you how I clean and what I use to clean the aquarium, because they're real fragile when it comes to water. The water has to be really cold and the water has to be almost crystal clear and almost really good. So right now I'm going to take all the water out, put some really good water. Obviously I have to take the chlorine out. So I'll clean this out, have a tub of water getting conditioned and whatnot. So the first item is going to be a cooler, just because I'm not that far from a water source, so I have to put all the dirty water in here and then dump it into my garden, which I believe that's a good water just because none's been known to use these guys to create syrup for cough medicine, and other people use them as like science projects like cloning and regrowth, and I guess people have been known to cut their spine and their head and their heart to see if it grows back, and it grows back every time. And though mine knocks, that's my knock cat, so it's just skittish and curious at the same time. That makes sense. But that's the first one. Then the next item you need is a siphon. I prefer these. I mean, if you can get the electric one where you can plug in with a battery operated, those are really portable and nice. But this one works as well. So as soon as you pump into the water, it'll create a suction power for the water to naturally siphon, I guess. But I'll show you how it works. So you put this in there, you get as much as you can. Power ones are going to be way better than those, but this one works as well. Like I said, just here you scan the bottom. But with anything that's aquarium, I prefer no rocks, no sand, just because it's really hard to maintain as it is. And putting rocks and stuff, I mean, it makes everything look really cool, but at the end, when it's time for cleaning, like, it's just annoying. So I mean, if you want that look and that extra work, you're gonna have to get special filters. Those filters cost like over $200. This pump right here only costs me about $10 to $15. If you want them really cheap, you go online. If you want one right away, make sure the price match at the corporate shop. But yeah, so after this, the water will be pumped. If you want a little bit more pressure, it will soak up the stuff even more. But as soon as it goes down here, and then I'll see you guys on the next scene. So here's a close-up shot of my white albino axolotl. If they don't have pink eyes, then it's not an albino, it's just a white axolotl. They have to have that pink eye to make it a true albino. Yep, one. Gold axolotl, same thing, everything has to be gold on them to be gold. They're just a type of morphs. Here goes wild, black, albino, and then gold. Yeah, they're pretty chill. Now I just gotta fill it with water. So the next thing you need is a water conditioner. This is really important for axolotls. They're real sensitive with water. You have to be 100% positive that your water does not have any chlorine or any additives that will harm the skin, just because, like I said, they're real sensitive. You want 60-degree cold weather, so you have to have a fan or a freeze cooler, one of those expensive $500, like makes everything instantly like 100% 60 degrees every time. But I don't get that kind of money, so I use a fan, and I make sure to freeze all the decorations before I put it in, just to make everything fast. So quick tip with these, before you put any conditioner, you have to look at the cap. So when you put the cap in there, it tells you how much water. And it's like 10 gallons for full. So as soon as you got this is 10 gallons. If you have 50 gallons, you need 5 of these. So these are half. So it's 5 gallons. So if you have a little betta fish, you just need half of it. You don't want to overuse it because these are expensive. But that's it. But yeah, you need this. You might as well just get the biggest one you can get, especially if you have the axolotls. Another big important thing you need is these strips. So you pretty much have to be like a biologist, chemist kind of guy, just because you need this to make sure. So what you do is you dip this tip almost like a freaking birth baby test or whatever, pregnancy test. What am I saying? Pregnancy test. But yeah, it's a 5-in-1, just dip and read. It measures everything from pH, nitrate, carbonate, and general hardness in the aquarium. But yeah, you need all this. If you're gonna get an axolotl, you have to go in there pretty deep. So I have to make sure the water's conditioned before I put it in. And they're just chilling. So I have to hurry up and put this water in. And unfortunately it's 30 gallons, and this is what? Freaking 3 gallons. I gotta do like 10 trips. But let's do it. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna show you guys my decorations. So this is the official Exoterra decoration from Exoterra. I went with an Aztec theme just because the axolotl is only known in Mexico and you can only get them in Mexico, but apparently not, just because they're all going extinct in the wild, and then there's a bunch of them in laboratories that pretty much make up, and also the people who take care of them like me can also preserve them, hopefully. But there's this one, pretty cool details. Also have this pyramid following the theme. I'm not sure who makes this. I think it's Vegetarium or something like that. It's a exclusive brand with Petco. It's not sponsored by Petco, but I just remember I got them. And then here's the other official Exoterra Aztec head. I guess I thought it was just a decoration, but it's also a hide. But they can only go through the side. But it's pretty good detail. Like really good detail. I think I got this one for like $10. I got this pyramid for I think 15. It's just really heavy. And then I got the calendar. I got the calendar for I think $5. But I kind of went all out. It kind of went like alien, Aztec theme. My wife wasn't really happy. But I got these official glow lights. These actually do a good job when it gets to the official light. When it comes to the official light from Glow Light, the Glow Light costs like 30, but if you price match them, you can bring it down to 20. But these, I think I picked these up for about $5 or $8 each. But these are a good decoration, because if you're gonna go with Glow Light, might as well get some Glow Light decorations just to make it pop. But those are the major, these are all the decorations for it. And I do put it in the freezer just because, like I said, the water has to be cold. So it kind of it's like a cheat code just for us to like make sure that everything is pretty good on it. Make sure it's cold, or it gets colder. but I'm gonna put these in there. I'll show you the final look. So the next thing I'll be talking about is my filter. So this is from Fubo Aqua. It's for the 50-gallon tank. I prefer these just because they're real quiet. Like I said, axolotls are real sensitive to a bunch of sound, so I gotta make sure I got a quiet filter. But this covers up to 50 to 55 gallons, I believe. And I have a 30-gallon tank. You always want to do a little bit more, not too much, but just a little bit. Just because if you do too much, it might suck it up. You don't want that. It has an extension right there, and then it has a little motor. All the work is right here. The only problem with these is later on, if it does get really dirty, you gotta make sure that you can unscrew these and take that little fan off and just clean it up really good, just because it gets gunky. And a lot of people just return them. It's just a simple clean, that's it. But it's a 3-layer system. By me saying that it has a sponge first, and then it has these little like barnacles to clean it out, and then it has this charcoal like carbonate to make sure it goes through the water. And so at the end it just pretty much goes in this little square capsule thing, and then from there you put the square thing in here, and the water goes, it sucks up the water, fills it up, goes up, and then filters it out. So that's pretty much it. It's kind of hard with one hand. But the sponge, the particle thing, carbon, and this keeps it together to get where it could be easier to slide in the filter. So this is the final product. 3-layer. Boom, boom. I mean, there's not really a way to do it. I just pretty much just put in as much as I could. I change it up to see if it makes a difference, but I don't see if it makes a difference. So the reason it is frozen again is for the water to get colder. That's why it's all stiff. But yeah, I make sure that this is cold so the aquarium can run even colder and faster compared to just them being there in warm water for a while. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A little trick with these, you have to add water so it can start working. Sometimes it needs a little head start, a little push start. But yeah, just add water right here if it doesn't work. And there you go. And this is the final product. It's still a little bit foggy just for the water to settle, but that's pretty much it. A little bit camera card, use a little bit more brave. But the light I'm telling you about, it's right here. It attaches to the side of your aquarium on the lip, and then it has like a little button right here. So you just push the button, and there it is. Makes everything pop, everything glow back right up. But they're known not to like the light. It does have 3 modes. That's the first mode. That's pretty much the second mode, just like a blue light. And then there's the black mode, which is pretty much just bright what matters. In this case, that. Well, there he is, he's doing his thing. Oop. They're like super goofy, bro. But yeah, the water's pretty much clean. The water's all the way up here. I make sure the water almost hits the lip. Make sure to get a cover. I do have a cover, I'll show you guys right now. So there's the lid. It's not perfect, it's just for them not to get out. I'll probably just cut it right there later. But it's pretty much done. Yes, the fan's going. It's a Honeywell, it's nothing special. It's like a $5, $10 fan. But there it is. There's the Mayan, Alien, Aztec, Axolotl aquarium enclosure. And by the way, you can control if you want a lot more, push this, or it cuts it off but barely runs. If you want maximum power, you push it to the left and more flow comes out. I mean, it does get louder, but right now that's why I like to fill it up all the way to the lid so it won't make as much noise, just for now to clean the aquarium even better. But yeah, by the way, that's cleanable. Like, you can clean them and reuse them, so you don't have to buy any more packs, which is really good. I mean, they're clean animals, but they're dirty animals. Like, by me saying that is they do drop some particles of like little sacks of poop, and as long as you don't pop them, it doesn't get dirty. But once they're popped, it gets all nasty. So luckily we got that filter going. But yeah, that's them right here. That's the blue light I just had to do some of that black light, just to give them a break. Like I said, I don't run these lights. I only run them when people want to look at them. I don't have the lights running all the time. You don't really need the lights. Plus, it saves electricity. Plus, they look better when they're in the darker area. But that's how they breathe right there. The little like dread looking thing. Those are his lungs. See what he does. Hopefully he floats up. They usually like to float up, get some air, and then come down. Oh, there he is. Perfect. Boom. And they like to glide down. They're big floaters. He's shy, but he's a big show off. You see that red eye? Pretty cool. He's just chilling in the back. This guy's cool. This is my first one. A week later, I'm going back for this. They do range from like, I picked them honestly for $40. I got lucky because that's a gold one and that's an albino. This is a real albino, and they're supposed to be way more. But just look around, look at your local pet shops. I know they try to get me a wild type for $120, but I pretty much got two rare ones under $80. Yeah, they're cool creatures. I do recommend them, but like I said, you gotta clean the tank at least once every week or 2 weeks. Make sure you have a fan. If you don't got a cooler, you gotta use that fan. You gotta maximize your ice to make sure that's freezing. Making sure that's at 60 degrees. You gotta make sure the temperature. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'll probably spend like a good $200 on everything, including the axolotls. But I mean, some people will spend way more. You just gotta know where to look. I know the aquarium I spent $20. These were 8, 10. The more expensive one was that light. But I mean, to me, it was worth it. But yep, subscribe, like, and share. Axolotl.